First of all, the bye week, what you feel like you got done there?
I think it was good. I think we made some good improvements. We practiced hard, got a lot of practices in. I think we made strides in just becoming better as a team. So I think it was good for us.
Any personnel movements, depth or anything?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of guys are still battling. There could be some guys that are getting a little bit closer to playing a lot more as the year goes on. But right now, I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of big ones, no.
And the line, too, is that Logan and Matt looking to still get those starting reps there?
Yeah, I think so. There's kind of 6 guys right now that are kind of going to play for the 5, and usually it's probably going to be some combination with either Matt in there or Irving in there right now. So those 2 are kind of battling for that 5th spot.
And just first Big Sky game, I know it's been.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, it's a huge game. I told our guys, Sunday night we got to treat this like at this point as biggest game of the year because it's a really good team on the road. Anytime you go on the road and win a conference game, that's big, and then that helps you put yourself in good position to be in the top of the conference. So it's one of the best teams in the conference, playing them on the road, so it's a big game.
And I forgot to ask you this last week, but with the offensive tempo against Western New Mexico, were you happy with it, or did you want to kind of expedite it a little bit?
I think it was, I think we can go a couple different tempos. Sometimes we'll go a lot faster, and then sometimes there's times to slow it down, but I thought it was pretty good.
And against UC Davis, will it be sort of a mix of the 2?
Yeah, just depending on how the game's going. There might be times where a lot of it depends on how the game's going and what the score is, whether you want to slow it down or speed it up. But Western New Mexico kind of let the clock run all the way down to 1 second to try to shorten our numbers of possessions, and I don't see UC Davis actually did the same thing to Stanford, but I don't see them doing that to us. They'll probably go real fast against us.
And but aside from that, what do you take away from their game against Stanford?
They played well. I thought their defense was probably one of their better games. Their defensive played was against Stanford, especially up front. They did a good job against them. Obviously, Doss had a big game. They definitely came out trying to get him the ball, and trying to get the ball to three. So that's something we've known that since the summer study. That's one of the main things we got to stop is limit his touches and definitely limit his yards after the catch.
Is that would you say they're like best facets on their offense would be the receiving core?
Yeah, for sure. I think and the scheme. I think they do a real good job schematically, offensively. Their quarterback's a good player and their receivers are good. 3's really good. But 2 is a good player too, and he didn't play against Stanford. Not sure why, but he played really well in their first 2 games. And then their tight end's a good player. That's a big target that runs with the ball really well after the catch. So they got a lot of tools offensively. So we got to play really well defensively.
And how was Stanford really able to limit Mayer, however you pronounce it? It seemed like he threw a lot of passes, didn't have many yards, and just kind of.
Yeah, they kind of did a good job of tackling after the catch, and they didn't really throw the ball down the field quite as much as they did in the first 2 games. It was more quick stuff. So we just got to do a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback and then do a good job of tackling out in space after the catches.
And on their defense, opposite of the best facet on their offense, is their box pretty good? Or?
They do a good job defensively. I think their safety, number 16, is a really good tackler. He runs around and makes plays. I think their nose guard's very explosive, does a good job inside. 20 is their best corner. So they do a good job defensively. They try to bring different dogs from one side or the other. They're a little bit more one high this year than they were last year, a little bit more two high last year. So I think they're trying to not give up the big plays on defense and keep stuff in front of them and rally and make the plays. And they're playing hard and playing pretty good right now.
And I know you think that with such a pass-heavy offense, their defense maybe wouldn't be as accustomed to the run game, but that hasn't really been the case.
Yeah, I mean they did a good job against the run against Stanford, and that's so. It's just something we got to go out there and execute well and take care of the ball and make sure that we stay on the field. I think that's a big thing. We got to convert third downs and stay on the field and limit their number of possessions.
And you and Coach Hawkins, was 04 the first and last time you guys met?
That's the last time we coached against each other, on the field. But we've I was an assistant, obviously. I was the coordinator. He was the head coach. But we've when I got the job here, he just reached out to me and was a really good guy to me. And I always think the world of him for that. And he's a good person, good coach, really good coach.
Have you kept up with him besides that?
Yeah, we kind of, not a ton, but once or twice a year we talked. And then I talked to him a lot at Media Day up in Spokane this last time. And he's got a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of things that I like to just throw out questions about, different things, and he's always been very open, and it's helped me a lot in my profession.
And that game, that 04 Liberty Bowl, does he sort of take stuff forward from that Boise team through Boulder to now? Is there any similarities there that you've seen in this Davis team and that team that you?
Offensively, they do a lot of, they're very schematically, they do a lot of good things on offense. They make you defend the whole field. They throw the ball well. If you just defend the pass, they run it well, and then you always got to worry about the little wrinkles of, the reverse pass or, all the different little things that they've done for years since he was at Boise.
And with you guys kind of combating those 50 throws per game sort of average range, is it going to be maybe bringing an extra DB time to time?
That'll just be something they'll have to wait and see when we start the game.
And are they kind of a look to hit you with speed? They're sort of is that what they mostly try and attack defenses with?
They like to throw the ball down the field. They threw a lot more quick game against Stanford, but I think ideally, if you watch last year in the first two games, they like to stretch you and make you defend the whole field, and they'll throw it down the field, and obviously number 3 is the first guy they want to throw it to. They're tight end, and then number 2 in the first two games had made a lot of plays for him.
Is there do they sort of do kind of like a Wazoo type of thing where they're running is really their check down passes?
I don't necessarily think I would compare it to their offense. When they run it, they have schemes where they're trying to run the ball, but if you just look at them from afar, the splits at times would make you think a little bit like them, but I don't think the scheme is at all the same.
And with the quarterbacks, if one were to get really hot in this game, would he probably stay in for as long until he cools down, or would you see if the other quarterback could come in and maybe match his momentum?
That's just kind of something we'll go on. Right now, I'm planning on playing them both, and that's something that you get a feel for as the game goes on. But right now, they're both going to play, and they've both had a good week of practice. They both played well last game, so I look forward to them going out there and moving the football.